everyone. I'm here to talk a little bit about how I made the cover for Vivian Seeloff's new book, Cultivating Roses, a biblical truths, encouragement, and creative tips for newlywed brides and new moms. Boy, I wish I had a book like this when I was going through that period of my life. I was very honored when she called and she asked me if I would do the cover for the book. And she said she wanted some pink roses on the front. And so I'm just here to explain a little bit how I did that. And I've already made the cover. It's already done. But I'm just kind of going to go through a little bit of how I put it together. So I have here, this is sort of like the first thing I do is kind of sketch. And this is going to be the front of the book, and that's going to be the back of the book. Later we found out that they couldn't use any of the sketching or any of the paintings of the back of the book because it was going to be filled with text and a picture of the family and everything. So the main part would be this part here. I started with was the background, and this is a picture pretty much of my painting in the early stages of it. And you can see the background, sort of like a variegated. I tried to make it look like an old wall, sort of like a plaster, old French plaster type of wall that it was on. And so I'm gonna just explain a little bit how I did that. I had this not old, but I had this wrapping paper in my drawer. It's been there for a long time. It's like a wedding wrapping paper, and I thought it was really pretty because it had all these white roses on it, so I thought that was appropriate to use. What I did is I used this. I put this down first before I started painting. That's sort of like the background. I'm just going to do a little bit of it here just so you have an idea. This is my color palette, sort of like creamy whites of different variations. This is a little bit more yellow and a little bit of a light gray color. So I kind of I just put that on, mix it up, and I'll paint that on top. But very lightly, because I do want a little bit of the background showing. Right, so I'm going to let that dry a little bit and explain a little bit now. I put in some stencils, and I used because I wanted to, remember I wanted to make it look like a old plastered wall, sort of. And I have this paint that's called Crackle Paint by Art Deco Media. And when it dries, it makes all those little cracks and really interesting patterns in the plaster or in the paint. It's sort of like a paste, and then you usually use I should have had this out already, but one of these palette knives to spread it on with. Here. I have a couple of stencils that I used. I used like a French floret type design, and I used these old Crusader cross design on it. Alright, so what I do is I just put this right on top. And I make sure that I'm not covering my the part where I sketched in my roses, because I don't want that to be on top of that. This is just for the background, just to give it some interest and make it look like an old world type of thing. Because I really like that look. And it kind of puts that design right in there. And then when it dries, I don't know if you can really see that. It's hard to see. But when it dries, it has all these little lines in it. So I'm gonna make another one, make it come out this way. I also like this little flower part here. I think I'm gonna put that there. And you kind of put it on, and you kind of like take the upper part, kind of scrape it off. I'm gonna lift it gently, and there's your design. Okay, I'm gonna put something right here, a smaller section. Put this little doodad down here. Okay. There we go. That kind of gives it some texture. And we will come back when this is finished. You have to let it dry completely, and then you'll be able to see all the little cracks in it. Okay, we're back. My crackle paste has completely dried, and I hope you're able to see that. How it makes all the little, do something to it to make those cracks show a little bit better. What we're gonna do is, well, I also, painted around the rose just to fill it all in so it looks all like one piece now, the background. I'm gonna use some of this. It's called acrylic ink. It's like acrylic paint, but it's very, it's like very liquidy. And this color is called sepia. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that put it like in a little container here. I have like these little cups. Put something in here. Just need a little bit. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little, I'm gonna liquefy that even more. Put some water in there. Okay, so what I want to do is make this, the edges sort of like a darker shade. You kind of just blend that in. And I put it on the crackle paste. And the brown goes right in between the cracks. And it really makes them stand out a whole lot better. So really brings out those cracks, which is what I want. And to bring out the design as well in the background. Alright, so now I'm going to take it, just get some tissue here and kind of like soak it up a little bit. Before it dries. You have to gotta do this quick before it dries. Yeah, because I don't want it too dark. Okay, so that should I'm just gonna do a little bit here under the rose. Just shade it in a little bit. Alright, so now you should be able to see those cracks really, really good. Alright, my next step was to put a couple of these crosses in, and Vivian and I went back and forth on how many crosses to put. At one point I put a whole lot of crosses in. It was just too much. So just a couple little faint little crosses, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use white gesso for my white. Just a little bit, and you need a little sponge. And I use these cosmetic sponges, which a lot of artists do. They're very cheap, and you can get them at the dollar store, I think. So anyway, you just tap in your paint, and then decide where you want to put the crosses. So I'm just going to put one here. I'm just going to do it very lightly. You can barely see them anyways. Put one up here. Okay. Alright. Just to give a little hint across. You just put one coming out a little bit here. All right. All right, so now you can barely see them. And then my last effect is to put, I added another color to my palette, which is this gold, a metallic color. And I wanted to put some gold in there. So, this is one that I made myself, just using the hole punch. And then I have another one that's got different size circles on it. There's another one, different size circles. So what I'm going to do is use that same little sponge and apply my gold circles here and there. Hopefully, when the light shines, you can see that. It's only when the light reflects on it that you really see it. All right, and that's pretty much what I did for the background. Now we're going to work on the roses. So I'm going to change my color palette, and I'll be right back. Okay? Okay, I've got my palette here for roses. Got different variations of pink, and my leaves, which different variations of green. Dark green, medium green, light green. So I'm going to get started in doing that. I usually start with maybe the medium color. Just start painting that in. Edges of the rose are lighter color, like a lighter pink. I don't know about you, but I love roses myself too. They have just a beautiful, they're just so special. And they smell so deliciously good. I love pink roses. I love all the color roses, but I just don't really know which is my favorite. I think I like them all. All right. Yeah, the key is just putting in those variation of color, of like tones. the darks and the lights. Okay, let me get a thinner brush for my leaves. Okay, let's see here. She'll start with this color. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put some variegation in the leaves. I figure the light's gonna come sort of from the middle out, so let me get that lighter here, lighter green. With any of your colors, if you want it to be lighter, all you need to do is add some white to it, and your color will get lighter. I'm gonna put some dark, real dark. This one, which will be along the middle of the leaf and close to the flower. Really sort of act like a shade. This bright one here. This bright color, bright green, just a little tad. It just makes it brighten up. Okay, put a little bit of this bright color in there. Brighten up those leaves. Okay, let me just put in these little stems so that everything is connected here. All right. It looks like we need a little bit of the background in there between those leaves. Let me just get a little bit of that. So now the last thing I do is, I didn't even use this color. Let me put in some more highlights. Super white, light pink. That'll lighten it up. It'll lighten everything up. I think with a rose, everything is in, all the leaves are all interconnected. Like a rose is like a spiral. It's like a spiral. All right. I'm just gonna let that dry a minute. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish. This is pretty much the last thing I do on the painting is I use a very fine point. This is archival ink, Macron 03. It's black ink. And I just do line work on the picture. I usually will do to bring out the what the painting is, and it gives it that character. Okay, see? I just made it come more alive here. Let me do that in the bottom. Alright, and that is it. This is the finished product. I hope you enjoyed watching me paint this, and again, it was a real honor to be asked to do the book cover. I pray that the Newlywed girls and the new moms will really be inspired and encouraged. We need a lot of that today. Seems like women, especially young women and young moms, are like being attacked all the time. So I just pray that this will be an encouragement, that the Lord will use it in your life, and that you'll be able to grow from it, and I pray that it will bless you tremendously. Okay, until next time, bye-bye.